Process mapping. Scope statement. Purpose. Customer, whoever receives the output of your process. Output, the material or data that results from the operation of a process. Process, the activities you must perform to satisfy your customer's requirements. Input, the material or data that a process does something to or with. Supplier, whoever provides the input to your process. Maps information flow, identifies all touch points. Perceptions of a process. There are usually 3 versions of every process. 1. What we think it looks like. 2. What we think it looks like. 3. What we wish it would look like. Don't jump to what we wish it would look like. Validate and evaluate process map. Validate. Evaluate. Walk the process again. Ask the question. What happens if? What could go wrong? Who? How? When? Update map. Does each step add value? Is the step necessary? Are controls and measurement criteria in place? Are re's occurring? Rework, revise, repeat, review. Benefits of process mapping. Can reveal unnecessary, complex, and redundant steps in a process. This makes it possible to simplify and troubleshoot. Can compare actual processes against the ideal. You can see what went wrong and where. Can identify steps where additional data can be collected. Building a process map. 1. Establish the process boundaries. List the inputs, suppliers, and your key requirements. List the outputs, customers, and their key requirements. Observe the process in operation. 2. Determine the scope. How complex and detailed a map do you need to give you what you want? Determine the steps in the process. Follow the actual process if you are in a discovery phase. If not, generate all the steps. Don't worry about the order. 4. Arrange the steps in order. 5. Assign a symbol. Process mapping symbols. Operation, transpiration, storage, procedure, delay, decision, inspection/measurement, operation and inspection, metric, document, input to a process. 2-part metric. Start, stop of process. On-page connector, off-page connector. Process flow connector. Nature of work. Value analysis. Value-added work. Non-value-added work. Steps that are essential. Because they physically change the product/service, the customer is willing to pay for them and are done right the first time. Steps that are not essential to the customer, but that allow the value-adding tasks to be done. Better, faster. Steps that are considered non-essential to produce and deliver the product or service to meet the customer's needs and requirements. Customer is not willing to pay for step. Value-enabling work. Non-value-added work. Cycle time equals process time plus delay time. Examples of non-value-added work. Redundancies. Implicit or unclear requirements. Tricky handoffs. Conflicting objectives. Common problem areas. Unnecessary approval needs. What does the customer value? Create COPIS. CPOC. Copious or CIPOC is a necessary element of the Six Sigma project, where you intend to develop a high-level process map for the most significant 4 to 5 steps of the process. This is intended to give a very high-level perspective to your participants, who sometimes may not be from the area under study. COPIS is an acronym which stands for Customer, Output, Process, Input, and Supplier. CIPOC is merely the same written in reverse order. There is nothing different in COPIS and CIPOC. It is merely an organizational preference of which one to use. The chief promulgator organization, using the same, wanted to use this as a message of customer first, and hence the COPIS. CPOC. Project Milestones. Milestones. Milestones are a tool used in project management to mark specific points along a project timeline. This is mostly beneficial for people who are accountable for tracking the project from a timeline and deliverable perspective. Milestones are commonly used for project monitoring purposes. If not well defined, they can tend to overlook smaller activities which are not captured as part of the milestone. Milestones are like dashboard reviews of a project. Number of activities which were planned at the beginning of the project, with their individual timelines, are reviewed for their status. It also gives an opportunity to check the health of the project. Milestones. Reference point marking major events in a project. High-level project plan with dates. Typically, dates of completing DMAIC phases. Consider the effort and flow of data in defining dates. Aggressive but realistic may be mapped with activities on the critical path if using a network diagram for management of the project. Milestones sample. Benefits. Measuring benefits in the project. Quantification of benefits associated in a project will be extremely useful. In getting project approval, and most of the time that could be the reason why the project needs to be done. Benefits can be calculated basis: reduced cost of defect, repair, rejection, etc. Increased efficiency, which is quantifiable in monetary terms. Improved productivity, in transaction-based pricing model. Improved outcome, realization, in outcome-based pricing model. Reduced time taken to complete something. When we pay for time and material model. Reduced input and resource cost.